So you're in the office today. How was the track meet?
It was pretty good. I mean, even though I had a little bit of trouble with someone because, well, and I eventually started crying because I knew I could actually understand that they were doing it on purpose. So I was just talking to Kayla and stuff because we had a little
To Kayla?
yeah, because we had a little bit of an argument because she thought like, oh, I was stealing money from her and all that. But we got over it and we're okay now. But then eventually, since once we got over it, I would decide to just talk to someone or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Roxanne would be like, and she would butt into the conversation. It got so irritating. And sometimes I'd ask her to stop nicely.
And this is, sorry, who again?
Roxanne.
Roxanne. So you were talking to Kayla and you had an argument with Kayla.
And then Roxanne butted into the conversation and Roxy said, stop arguing over stupid things. And I'm like, okay, I understand that. But then, and because Roxanne also butted in and mentioned that, and I'm like, okay, I understand that why she would say that. But then eventually I would just talk to people and then she'd butt into the conversation. I'm like, please stop butting into the conversation. It's not your business. And then she said, well, then stop talking so loud. And then by the third time she would butt into my business, I got a little angry and in a kind of mean tone of voice, I said, just mind your own business, please. And then eventually I just started crying because she wouldn't stop and she was doing it on purpose. Because when I would ask her to please stop and mind your own business, she'd be like, no.
This is Roxy, right?
Roxanne, not Roxy.
So you asked her nicely at first, and then she
wouldn't stop butting into my business, and then she said, well, stop talking so loud, and she would say that and use that as her excuse every single time.
Mm-hmm. And so that makes you angry. So, okay, where was this again? This was at the track meet? And were you had to sit together, or could you have moved, you and
I could have moved, but the entire thing was filled up. And Roxanne had a problem with every little thing I would do, and it was kind of unfair because that's another reason why I was crying, because I was actually being fair to her because she was getting loud and crazy and stuff like that, and I was okay with that. But when I would try to, she'd be like, stop talking, and it was still the right time to do it. And when she told me to stop, she would go do it herself, and that was unfair, and that's why I eventually started to cry.
Mm-hmm. So you were upset and you were crying because you felt like Roxy was telling you to stop talking, but then she would continue talking.
Yes, and this is Roxanne Hoapili, not Roxy.
No, not Roxy. Yes, sorry, Roxanne. But you couldn't move. You couldn't.
I don't think we could. I think the only reason why we would ever move is to either A, throw away our trash from lunch, or B, to go to the bathroom or get water.
What other things could you have done though? If you couldn't move location, you move away from her.
I also tried to ignore her, but that didn't work. And then I told her, why don't you just ignore me instead? And she was like, I can't, even though you could, and just act like I'm not there.
But she was talking about your voice, right? She didn't want to hear you talking.
Yeah, she just wanted me to be quiet, and she didn't want me to talk, even though I'm okay with her talking and playing around and all that stuff.
Could you have just stopped? What was the conversation about? You were arguing with...
I was arguing with Kayla because Kayla had thought, Kayla thought I was trying to take Maya away from her, and I was trying to tell her, that isn't the case, and stuff like that. And then after that, this is when Roxy actually told us to stop arguing about stupid things. I asked her what time it was. I asked Maya to ask her because I knew Kayla was going to be like, I'm not your personal timekeeper. And I didn't want her yelling at me. And then she said, did Nicaea ask you to say this? And then she said yes. And she's like, that's it. Get your own watch. I'm not telling you the time anymore.
So, I mean, could you have waited till after the track meet to talk to Kayla about it? Or was it that important that you needed to speak to her about it right then and there?
No, because I was sitting by Maya, and she gets mad when I sit by Maya, and like I remember before, Kayla had her for like a long, long time, and the amount I've had Maya isn't even like half the time she spent with her. Because she spent like the first and second quarter with her.
What do you mean by had? That Kayla had her?
Like Kayla was playing with her, and she wouldn't even let me play with her and stuff like that. And they would just ignore me, run away from me when I tried to go ask if I could play with them. And then, because she had her for the first and second quarter.
Let me ask you though, is there any way that you could all be friends? You, Kayla, and Maya?
I've actually tried to explain that. She's like, no, that's not gonna work.
Did she offer any reason why? Because I mean, you know that you could be friends with more than one person.
And I understand how she was actually feeling after when she said, I'm sorry I over-exaggerated in that because I got jealous and stuff like that. I can understand too because sometimes, and still even now, because I'm just, sometimes this even happens to me when some of my friends go hang out with other people in the middle of me playing with them, I just get angry.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of emotion is that though?
Jealousy.
Jealousy. Okay, and just because someone who you're playing with right now goes and plays with someone else, doesn't mean that your friendship isn't worth it, right? Or it doesn't mean that they don't want to play with you anymore. It just means that they have other friends too.
Yeah, but sometimes like when Maya says, oh no, I want to play with Nicaea, Kayla gets all mad and all that, and I'm not 100% sure, but like she get all mad and she just stomp away and then she just stay alone, and then we try to help her, ask her what's wrong, how she feeling, and she's like, just leave me alone. Go.
Again, that's what emotion? Jealousy. Which coupled, or you add in the other one when she was angry, right? Angry and jealousy, they don't mix well together, right? Because now Kayla she's jealous because you're playing with Maya, and then she's angry at you, right? Because you're playing with Maya.
And the thing is, Kayla, you know how like with the civil rights thing with Martin Luther King and stuff, she was kind of like that. She was like, well, I introduced you to her, and all that, and she, so I should be able to play with her more than you get to. And that was just a little offensive because I'm like, you may have introduced me to her, but that doesn't mean you get to play with her more. You introduced me to her the same day you met her, and just because you've known her, just because you knew her for around 5 minutes more than me doesn't mean that you like knew her for years and years and years, and that means you've known her longer, you know more about her. You should be friends with her, and I shouldn't be. And that's how I feel when she says that stuff. Mm-hmm. Like she's trying to keep me away from Maya. Like I'm a bad influence on her. Yes, we talk about stuff that Kayla doesn't usually get into and talk about with me a lot. But one time I was just teaching her a little something which was just a little fun to me, and then Kayla blamed it on me because I just taught her a fighting move of some sort, but that was just for fun. And she was like, if you hadn't taught her that fighting move, she'd be more happy, sunshine. I'm like, that was just me having fun with her. I was teaching her maybe ballet exercises I knew for some reason, and then.
So I mean, it sounds like you may have more common interests. You know what that is? Common interests with Maya, right? I mean, you and Maya's connection as friends might be stronger than Maya and Kayla. And even though you may have known her 5 minutes less than Kayla, doesn't mean that your connection isn't as strong, because you share common interests, right? You wanted to show her your battle move or fighting move or whatever.
Well, okay, I think this is really what happened. This is what I remembered, and I just actually remembered a little more. So, and she's done this multiple times. So.
Who are we talking about?
Kayla.
Kayla.
So, she was like, I knew. She's like, I knew Maya long. I mean, yeah, I knew Maya longer, and so, like she said that, and this is basically the same thing she said before. But she said, so I should be friends with her. You shouldn't, or you should. I should get more time with her. You should get less because I've known her more than you have, and stuff like that. And I remember when the first day of school, Maya was a new kid, and I wanted to actually kind of be friends with her. And then once Kayla actually introduced me to her, I found out that we had common interests, which was actually pretty surprising because usually with new kids I'm not that good with them. And then once Kayla got extremely mad at me for being her friend and spending time with her, that was just blown over, and we've had like an on and off friendship, and that's always caused because I've been playing with Maya, and like when Kayla plays with Maya, I'm okay with it, and I say, hey, maybe you could play with me and Maya, and Kayla's like, no, I just want to have time with me and Maya by herself, and I actually let that happen sometimes, but then it's either a coincidence or Maya wants to stand by me sometimes. So sometimes it's a coincidence when me and Maya like stand by each other, and then Kayla's like, do you always have to be by Maya? And I'm like, no, but I just want to spend time with her, and I'll let you two have alone time. And I say, but I want to at least be able to play with you and Maya for a little while.
Like as a group, right?
Yeah.
Together. No, yeah, I understand. And I do see where Kayla could feel upset. And, I think we may have to get Kayla and Maya in here and maybe do some exercises or some, social building or relationship building kind of techniques. Because it sounds like Maya just wants to be friends with both of you. And it's kind of causing like this rift, like this animosity. Do you know what that is? Animosity?
No, but like it's me and Kayla are fighting, but Maya is the victim, and that's not fair to her because I remember one time she was like, Kayla was like, because she was making her choose friends. Kayla was making Maya choose friends. Like, who do you want to play with more, me or Nicaea? And she was like, I don't know because she's confused. She doesn't understand why we're fighting, and I can see why she feels a little confused and she feels like she's a victim, and I don't want her to feel like that. I don't want her to feel like she's a victim of something like that.
Yeah. Because, in the end, she's not going to want to play with anyone. Because she's going to feel like she's in the middle. And she's not going to want to, get in the middle between you and Kayla.
But the thing is, also, eventually, when that would happen, when she would say, who do you want to play with more? Me or Nicaea? Eventually, like, after maybe a minute or so, and she's like, I don't know, I'm confused. Kayla would just take her and be like, nope, you know what, you're playing with me. Because you can't decide, I'll decide for you.
And this is Kayla. Have you ever done that to Maya? Where just, took her away from Kayla?
Yeah. Like, I'm like, hey Maya, I have something to show you. Come on, and when she comes, if we decide to play a little more, and then Kayla gets mad because now she's playing with me instead of her, playing with her. And
so, do you see how that is kind of the same, though? What Kayla did with Maya by just, taking her and, playing with her. And what you did was you kind of did it the same way in a different, same thing, different way. Because you asked her, I want to show you something, which kind of took her away from Kayla.
Well, like, I was like, hey, I want to show you something, or hey, do you want to see something? And when Maya usually says yes, so when she does, I show her the cool thing that I'm able to do or something that I found, and then we just either A, discuss about it, sit down and talk about it, or B, we start playing around.
So, and what could you have done to include Kayla, though?
I could have asked her, hey, Kayla, you want to come see it too? Because I've done that before, and she's like, no, you you and Maya can go run along, and or sometimes she'll be like, no, go play with Maya. I'll just be by myself.
Well, I mean, and you only can control yourself, right? I mean, you can't control Kayla or the way she's gonna act. You only can control your feelings and your actions. So, which brings me to this activity. It's cotton and sandpaper. So let's think of some words. Here's some pens. You can write. I don't have that nice handwriting, but so what? Describe cotton. What does cotton feel like?
Cotton, I guess, would feel soft, fluffy.
Soft. So here, just you can use any color. Any color.
This one.
So just write some of the words around cotton. So what did you say?
Soft.
Soft.
Wait, can I write?
Yeah,
write it
just
in
write. Yeah. What other words can you do? How else can you describe cotton?
there? Well, because it is, well, the color of it is white, it kind of reminds me of like the light side of things.
Yeah. So put that. So the light side of things. And when you say light side of things, what kind of emotions is that?
Like happy, excited, surprised.
So just write some of those down. Ways to describe cotton.
And, well, it's also kind of a little hard for me to describe cotton in different ways because there's not really much to say about it. It is basically just a ball of, actually a plant.
Mm-hmm. So write that down. Any way you can describe cotton.
That's basically it.
Okay, and so have you ever felt sandpaper?
Yes, I have.
And what does it feel like?
Feels rough, it feels uncomfortable.
Okay, write those down. Just describing sandpapers. What does sandpaper feel like? Rough, uncomfortable. If you did it hard enough, could it get hurt?
Yes.
It-
Scratchy.
Scratching, yeah.
It actually could leave ashiness on
Mm-hmm.
your body.
You could leave marks, right?
That's all I can really describe it as.
Okay, so taking this, so we have for cotton, the describing words, we have soft, the light side of things, happy, a ball of fluff. Okay, so it's, I'm gonna write in a different color, maybe this light green. So cotton, let's maybe come up with like a little definition for cotton. So cotton words are
Happy.
happy. What else? What else? How can we start this guy? Cotton words are happy if we're using cotton words.
Like maybe not surprised, but I think it could be feel like it's in a if it's like in a cheerful manner.
Mhm.
So cheerful could also be one.
Cheerful.
Joyful. Grateful. And it's pretty much the same word as grateful, but appreciative,
Mhm.
I guess.
Okay, that's good for cotton words. Now, sandpaper words. What do you think that feels like? Sandpaper words are
Mad. I'm not sure on an easy way to describe an anxiety as a sandpaper word, but I think just anxiety would be.
It could cause anxiety, right?
Yeah.
Those kind of words.
Um,
Maybe two more. Let's go with two more. Sandpaper words are, we have angry, hurtful, and can cause anxiety.
um,
How does it make you feel?
Sometimes when I hear sandpaper words or get stuff here or feel one of those emotions, I actually think of hurtful thoughts because like sometimes I think of hurtful thoughts or suicidal thoughts or something like that. But it's only suicidal thoughts when I'm like extremely angry, like extremely angry, like so mad that I actually start screaming or cry.
So, since you brought that up, have you thought about that a lot?
Not very much,
Like
but
when have you felt
I
like
felt
hurting yourself?
I've actually felt like that either like I've actually felt like that maybe a week ago when Kayla made me feel like, oh, I treat her like trash. And that was also similar to today because I thought I don't deserve to be here. I don't deserve to live and stuff like that
This is what
today.
you're saying, telling yourself,
Yes.
or what someone is telling you.
What I'm actually telling myself.
You ever tell anybody how you feel?
I only tell them, but I don't tell them like the thoughts of the thing.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Ever tell your mom, or your dad, your brothers?
No, because of my family, they're just gonna be like, why? Or saying my brother Phoenix, now he's just been like lousy and he's just been a little angry and stuff. And he just says, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. It just gets. I'm not sure, but but it's just stuff like that which does make me a little. And sometimes I feel a little guilt. Sometimes I will feel guilt when I do something bad. Like one time I actually went to my brother's room and said something that I wasn't supposed to, and I feel guilty about that, especially because I knew I wasn't supposed to do it, but I did it anyways.
Okay. So, have you done anything other than just think about those thoughts?
Sometimes I've actually. One time I actually almost cut myself.
You almost.
Cut myself because I was actually extremely angry.
What were you gonna cut?
There's just gonna be a tiny slit in my arm, not like anywhere that would actually cause death.
And how do you know how to do this, or?
Because like I've actually seen my stepdad do it to multiple people during his trip.
Your stepdad does what?
He's in the military and he's also a fighter.
Fighter in the military, but you've seen him.
I've actually seen him hurt people and like cut them and stuff.
Outside of work?
No, like when he's in work during training work, he actually has to do it. So,
And these are real people, or?
no, they're just practicing dummies, but I could tell by the amount of pressure he does on the tablet dummy how he would actually get it to lodge through the skin.
Mm-hmm. And you've done it before?
I didn't do it all the way, but I almost did it, but then I realized this isn't going to do it any good. Why am I even doing this? So I put the knife back and just went into my room.
And when was this?
This was maybe a year ago.
A year ago? Have you ever had any thoughts about it, or tried it again recently?
No.
Well, you said you did think about it last week when.
And I also thought about it today, but I haven't like actually done anything to myself.
But you're having those thoughts though.
Yes.
And what kind of thoughts are that? Like what is it? what's happening in your head? Like, what are you telling yourself?
Like, I tell myself I don't deserve to be here. I might as well just jump off a cliff and die.
And these are the thoughts you're hearing in your head.
Or sometimes when I'm crying, I just put my head down and say to myself really softly.
Are you feeling okay now?
Mhm.
Because when you were feeling it earlier, right?
Mhm.
Earlier today, you were crying.
Yeah.
And so, how do you like? What happens after you think about it?
I just say it's not gonna do me any good thinking about this, or it's not gonna do me any good actually trying to do it myself. So why even bother?
That's good. You talk yourself out of it. You deserve to be here, right? Because your life is important.
But sometimes in my family, it actually makes me feel like I don't feel important or they don't love me, and I've actually admitted that to my brother before. Because they yell at me too much. They, like I said, one of the times I came here, they make me do all the work, and it makes me feel like I'm just their servant, and they're just letting me stay here. I actually don't live here. I'm not part of the servant. That's just what I feel like. Because my brother asked me to do simple things like fill up his hydro flask, make him a part-time man, even though that only takes like a couple of minutes. He could step away from his video game and do it himself, but he's just too busy playing his video games and yelling at it that he just makes me do it.
So what I'm hearing is that you feel like you're not appreciated for what you do.
Cause like I told my brother, I've done so much stuff for you, and what have you ever done for me? And yes, he has said that he's washed my clothes and stuff, but I've done more stuff than he's actually done for me. And some of the stuff I've actually done has more value than what he's done. Yes, I understand washing clothes and stuff for me allows me to have clothes and stuff, but when one time his mouse, before he had the other mouse that passed away, he actually had it cut on him, and to save his life and to prevent the bleeding or stop the cut from getting infected, I actually, before my brother even said anything, I was actually able to rush to the bathroom and get the hydrogen peroxide just so that he could survive. He wasn't even my mouse though.
This is your brother's mouse.
Who passed away a couple months ago.
Okay. Well, let me ask Miss Jackie what we should do now.
The reason he's asking is because when you say that you have thoughts of hurting yourself, it concerns us, right? Because that's obviously something that we don't want you to do. And so I think what I would want to do is let your mom know, because she's really the one who needs to know that sometimes you think that lowly of yourself. I don't want you to think that lowly of yourself. We wouldn't want you to ever think that lowly of yourself. But your mom needs to know so that she can watch out for you. And I don't know if she can do anything about your brothers. They are kind of older, right? So
Yeah, they're still living with me.
yeah, and I don't know if you can do it about them because they are older than you. But your mom needs to know because your mom is really the one who's in charge of you, and she does love you. Your brothers love you too, even if they don't show it. And even
Trust
if
me,
they,
we've admitted that we hate each other.
No, but you know what? The honest truth is they do love you.
Yeah.
They might not like you sometimes, or they might think you're annoying, but they love you. And if they knew that you were that sad, I think that they would be concerned. I definitely know your mom would know. Honestly, I think your brothers would care, but they're your brothers. So, you know, I don't know. But your mom would want to know. I think that's something that she should know, and that you should be able to, if you feel comfortable, talk to her. If you don't, that's what we're here for. So you can come and talk to us. But what we don't want is for you to actually hurt yourself ever. And having those feelings, you know what, we all have feelings. It's okay to have those feelings, but it's not okay to actually hurt yourself. That's where we want to make sure that what is on my head? There's two flying around me. Oh, my realization, sorry. I know that's how we distract. So what we want to make sure
Oh,
though
yes.
is that
It is.
why is it leaking?
Wait, what?
Okay, so but what we want to make sure though, Nicia, is that you don't ever actually hurt yourself. And that if you have those feelings, that you have somebody that you can talk to right away so that you don't hurt yourself. So if it's at home and your mom knows what's going on, she can talk to you because I know your mom knows.
But sometimes I'm home alone and that's what
Right, and then you know what? There's actually numbers that you can call if that happens, and other people you don't know them, so I don't know how comfortable you be talking to other people that you don't know. But there are people that you can call if that happens, because what we do not want is for you to ever hurt yourself. And I would want your mom to know so that she's aware, because she might just think, oh yeah, she's just complaining, she's not that sad. It's not that big of a deal. But if you're at that point where you want to hurt yourself, then that's a pretty big deal. And if it happens often. It sounds like, yeah, you did just say like something about it and you had it like last week or something. And this today you said you felt like that, right? Like,
I did too. I did feel like
so
today.
we can help you and your mom can help you or anybody, you know, about feeling better and how to deal with those kinds of things. But we want to make sure you're not going to hurt yourself. So we want to make sure that there's someone you can talk to. So we would want to let your mom know so that she knows when you're feeling like that, you can tell her. And even if she doesn't know what to say to you, at least she can hug you or she can sit with you or at least you know that you are loved. Because that I think is what makes people not hurt themselves. When they feel that I might not feel worthy of myself, but I know that I am because I know Mr. Joel was here. I know my mom was here. I know my uncle was here. I know whatever. My friend loves me. So you might not feel that of yourself, but you know other people think that of you. And so I would want to let your mom know. And then whether or not you feel comfortable enough to talk to her is going to be up to you. And if you feel like that at school, then let us know and we can talk to you. Or when you come to school, let us know and we can talk to you. But I don't want you to ever hurt yourself in this system, whether you know how or you don't know how. Because that's something you can't take back. If you hurt yourself, you might be lucky and you'll be okay, or you might not be. But you can't take that back. And it's a feeling, feelings all pass. I'm sure you know this, right? Because do you feel like it right now? Right? So what you need is to be able to get past that moment so that you can be okay after. It doesn't mean you won't ever feel like that, but that means when you feel like that, you have strategies or people that you can call so that you can hang on until you don't feel that way anymore. And so that's what we want to make sure that you have and that you are not going to hurt yourself. Does that make sense?
So I think definitely I want to see you more often. We can figure out the schedule later, but would it be okay to call her mom? And we'll talk to your mom and just let her know how you feel, right? Because like Miss Jackie said, we don't want you to ever feel that low where you want to hurt yourself or do something. Okay, so we'll
Or it's okay for you to feel that low, but we don't want you to actually hurt yourself. You
Yeah.
know? I mean, you might feel that low because sometimes life will suck, right?
Mhm.
But we don't want you to do something. I know your mom will be more aware. So if she's more aware, and then maybe she'll be more sensitive to listen to you too when you have something to say. Because maybe she thinks you're just complaining. And it's not that big of a deal. You're just complaining, you know? But if she knows that you are that sad, that you would want to hurt yourself, I think that would make a difference. That doesn't mean that everything will change though, and that doesn't mean that, oh, suddenly your brothers are all wonderful and everything, but at least they're aware. I think that is the first step, is people being aware and then slowly making changes to help them feel better. Including yourself, though. When you're aware and also making yourself figure out how you can feel better. And that's what we can help you with. Different things, different strategies, different ideas, and finding out what works for you. Make sense?
actually not so comfortable talking about it in front of mom because I know she's just gonna question me, and she's just gonna. Sometimes I'm not gonna really have an answer for her, and then she's still gonna be like, "Why?"
Well, why do you think she's gonna question you? I mean, not why do you think she's gonna question? Why do you think she questions you?
Well, because she wants to know what's wrong.
Because she cares. Yeah. So
Cares
it is
a lot.
annoying, maybe, and maybe you're not ready to talk, but let her know that too. Part of it is just communication. So if you let her know, you know what, mom, I'm not ready to talk, or I don't know what to say. I just need you to know that I feel that way, or I just need to know that you care. So maybe can you just sit with me, or whatever. I mean, just I understand that you might not be comfortable and ready to say everything, and she is gonna question you. Because she doesn't know. She's gonna worry. If somebody told me that about my son, I would be freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's happening? What's going on? You don't want to talk to me either. But part of it is just me telling him and letting him know when he's ready to talk to me that I'm here, and then just being there. So maybe that's what your mom can do. She's there, and you know that she's there and she loves you, and she might not know what to say, or she might say wrong things sometimes, but it's because she loves you. That's why she's asking you stuff. If she didn't ask you stuff, because she don't care, because she cares, that's why she's begging you. But it's our job, because we want to make sure you're safe, so it's our job to make sure she knows. So that's why, even though we don't want to make you uncomfortable, and I say, oh, come back, because we gotta let her know. I would want to know if my son was feeling that way. I wouldn't know what to do either, and I would probably bug him too, same thing, but I would want to know. At least I can be aware and I can try to help him. And then it's going to be, up to both of us. Part of it is up to you too, right? So you have to be willing to share with your mom how you're feeling and if you can think of ways that she can help. And then part of it is her being willing to listen and being willing to do what she can. And that's going to be both of you guys trying to figure out what works. But as long as you know that people care, and we do, and that's why we're going to do something that maybe you don't want us to do, but we're going to because we think it's important that your mom know. And that's because we care. So you can not like it or whatever, but I still think that that's the right thing to do, is to talk to your mom and let her know. And then definitely to us, that's what we're here for. And Mrs. Garman, Mrs. Nafiato, same thing. They have time. They have less time because about 30 of you guys, but they care about you too. So that's what they're doing. Anything else other than that?
Not really. But I know there was other thing that Mr. Joe wanted to talk about after like the family and stuff.
Yeah, but we can save that for next time.
I mean, that's part of what it is. Yeah, we don't always have to finish everything, or
Yeah.
sometimes you take a different direction and you find something else to talk about, and so that's totally fine. And that's why he said he's going to see you more often, so you have plenty of time to talk to him about all kinds of stuff.
So we care, me and Miss Jackie, we're here. If you ever have to talk to anybody about anything, especially if you feel that low or that you want to hurt yourself, here at school, any adult, I think here, you can talk to any adult.
It's like there's that stuff that has happened in school a couple of times where I actually try to grab myself out.
I'm sorry, what?
That actually has happened a couple times in school where I tried to grab my eye with a pencil.
And see, that's the kind of stuff that we don't want you to ever hurt yourself. If you're feeling that bad at the time, then you should have a way to let somebody else so that they can remove yourself from the situation. If I'm here, then I can come to you, or Mr. Joe is here, or Mr. Water, Mr. Joe, whatever.
So we're gonna talk, me and Miss Jackie, But I'll be here tomorrow, so I'll check in with you tomorrow. I think we'll call your mom.
Is she at work?
Yeah.
Does she have a cell phone? Okay, I can look about it.
So we're just gonna let you know that we are gonna talk to her because we think it is important that she knows just how you feel. Because Miss Jackie said she would be concerned, right, if you were her child. So,
And if for some reason we can't talk to her today, but we're gonna leave a message or whatever, and she asks you, oh, how come that you can always call her and let her know what I have to say. I let them know that sometimes I feel like hurting myself when they were worried and I wanted you to know. And then and see what she says. And hopefully we'll be able to talk to her before, but if we can't get a hold of her, I'm gonna leave a message. And just, I don't think I'll leave that in the message, but I'll let her know to call the counselor, so she might ask you, oh, how come you're not to call me? As best as you can. But same thing, right? If you don't feel comfortable, just let her know and communicate and tell her so she's not met with this sense of assembly. And it bugs me and I don't know what to do. Like I want him to tell me, Mom, I don't want to talk about it, or Mom, I'm too angry or whatever, but he just kind of shuts down, which makes it harder for me. So if you can say something to her, let her know, I'm just not ready to talk about it yet. Or if it helps you, if you like writing it, could you write it down? Because that's another way to get it out, and then you can give it to her so she can read it when she's ready. And you know, but you don't have to actually say all those things to her face, because sometimes that is hard to do. Right? If you're writing it, you can get it all out. I mean, it's just stuff for you to think about. Right? Just find a way that you can let somebody know that we can help them. Okay? If there's anything to add, you're just kind of sitting there so quietly.
Not really.
do you have any questions for us? So I will be here tomorrow. So I'll check in with Miss Garmin, right?
It's not getting.
Miss Nakayama. I'll check in with Miss Nakayama when I get here. And then hopefully we can reach your mom today. If not, we will leave a message with her. And like Miss Jackie said, if you wanna explain it to her, if you're not comfortable, she can talk to us. But if you are comfortable and you wanna tell her, I suggest you do just talk to her. Just let her know. Okay, so you gotta go to A+ now. So I'll see you tomorrow. And let's end it with a hug. Big hug. We care. We do care for you. We want you here. You can always talk to us. Okay? So I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Welcome.
Oh my gosh.